Yes, guys, hello and welcome to the Brentford preview. As you can see, joining me today is Mr. Sam McCabe. How are you doing, Sam?
I'm all right, mate. I got whiskey. It's been a nice, lovely day outside.
It is lovely outside.
United can't ruin my weekend. So
yeah, good. Exactly. They can only ruin your Monday. So
and Mondays suck anyway. So
yeah, exactly. Now, if you've watched these previews on a regular basis, you know we always start off with some kind of like topical stuff, and today is no different. So on the news show that came out this morning, check it out after this if you haven't seen it already. Me and Daniel was discussing the breaking news surrounding Matt Judge leaving his role at United as chief negotiator and head of corporate development. I just wanted to get your thoughts on this, Sam, because we haven't really, I know we spoke a little bit in the group chat and stuff, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it whilst we're kind of live on air now.
Yeah, I think it's good news. It's sort of the last of the, I don't want to be harsh and say like parasites, but parasites that were bleeding this club dry and just living a lie and claiming to be football experts when they knew absolutely nothing about football and they were handling transfers.
Yeah.
For some reason, don't understand why. Ed Woodward got away with. How long was Ed Woodward there?
2012, I think he first came in.
So something like 9 years, maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
And he was handling negotiations along with this Matt Judge, and they both come from banking backgrounds and financial things that have nothing to do with football. And they were handling negotiations. And then you wondered why United could only do one at a time and then just get absolutely rinsed in the payment schedule every single time. This is why, because these two guys have nothing to do with football.
So also, they were signing people who like they knew would make the United money, like marketable signings like Pogba, Sancho, these guys. That's why they brought, one of the reasons why they brought Ronaldo back. They was probably looking at one side of it and thinking, yeah, you know, it's great, all the fans will love it and stuff, but think how many shirts we'll sell, you know, think how many clicks we'll get on social media.
Think how many sponsorships will want to sponsor United because we have these players. Like it's all done from a business point of view. And I think as a club, you have to think about that and consider that. But number one priority should be results on the pitch and the team. That should be number one priority. And I think if you're successful on the pitch and you're successful with a team, you'll attract those sponsors anyway, regardless of whether you've got superstar players or players who have click bait and all that sort of stuff. So good riddance to him. And hopefully that means like somebody like Paul Mitchell, who's rumoured and stuff like that, hopefully he's going to come in, or somebody with his pedigree would be ideal.
Apparently John Murtaugh's the one pushing all this as well. He's the one who's like all the decisions that are happening at the minute. He's kind of pushing him, and you see a lot of people on other kind of fan channels, I'm not going to name who, but saying stuff like Murtaugh's been at the club for 6 years, he's not going to change anything and blah blah blah. But I hate to say it, but it certainly looks like he's making a big change at the minute. So long may it continue, and let's see what happens. If
he's got a clean slate as far as I'm concerned, John Murtaugh. Like, you've got your opportunity to do and put your stamp on it and make sure you're not Ed Woodward. And so far, so good. He's doing the right things. He's done all the right decisions. So we'll see what happens.
Apparently, because Matt Judge is leaving now, it will be Murtaugh who's operating in the summer with the transfer targets and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see who he goes and gets there and what happens, what kind of defenders he gets, what midfielders he gets. And we obviously need a young striker as well. Just sticking on strikers, Sam, another thing I wanted to discuss was Cristiano Ronaldo. Not really a specific news article, you know, surrounding him really, just the way he's playing at the moment. We have to discuss it. Like, if he was to go, I said this the other day, if he was to go to Manchester City at the start of the season, how many fucking goals would he have right now?
I think he might have broke the record that he had at United, that 30-odd goals. Probably broke that by this point.
It's crazy. He's still showing he's one of the best players in the world for me at the minute. And he knew in his head probably, if I go to City, it's pretty much guaranteed trophies the way they're playing at the moment. I would have won one or two easily and probably top goal scorer. But obviously his affiliation with Manchester United, he's like, no, I'm coming home. And little did he know how bad United would actually be this season. And to get 17 goals, he's probably going to get 20 plus goals. In United's team, just in the Premier League alone. Think about all the goals he scored in Champions League and stuff like that at 37 years old. I don't think there's another player on the planet who could do that.
He's a third top goal scorer in a league that's got Mo Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, Harry Kane, all these like top goal scorers, and he's third top goal scorer at 37. scored 8 of our last 9 goals in every game, which is just stupid. Which basically proves without Ronaldo, we would be. I know we're fucked anyway, but we would be so fucked this season.
Well,
so
I think
fucked.
you said without Ronaldo's goals this season, we'd be 10 points above the relegation zone. I think that was a stat that I saw, something along the lines of that. So just shows how important he is. Him, Sancho, and De Gea are the only ones who can really give himself a bit of a pat on the back this season, aren't they?
And even De Gea, I'm like, there's
at times, certainly. But just wanted to give a big shout out to Ronaldo because he's playing unbelievable at the moment. So
anyone claiming he's not the GOAT, get off the train, right? Because
God,
Messi isn't doing this in this United team. He's not scoring this amount of goals and playing.
Look at PSG's team. He's in an Uber Eats league and he's got like 3 or 4 goals. I know he's got quite a few assists, but it's still, I've seen rumours flying around that Messi will still be above Benzema when it comes to the Ballon d'Or candidates. So I was thinking, how the fuck?
Shut up!
The season Benzema's had the season, ridiculous.
Benzema, he's got is it 12 goals in the Champions League this season?
12 goals in the Champions League, and he's got like 20 odd goals in the league or something.
Absolutely ridiculous. If he doesn't get a Ballon d'Or, it's a fix. There's
crazy, isn't it?
There's no way he should.
Lewandowski got robbed, didn't it? So it wouldn't surprise me. So,
but it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, big up Ronaldo. As this previous Sam, it's no different. Little brain teaser for you, quite an easy one, I'd say. Even though if I got asked this, my memory's that shit, I probably won't remember. But the last time we played Brentford was we beat them 3-1 at their stadium. Yeah. Can you remember the goal scorers in that game?
Ooh.
So we was in the blue kit.
Is it Fred scoring the screamer? No,
that was Palace. Palace. It's kind of near similar time. I think we played them in maybe December.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It was second half FC won it. We played awful in the first half.
Yeah.
And then came out and battered in the second half.
Yeah. I'll give you a clue. So the last scorer, we did that. You remember that celebration that they was doing? That B one.
Oh, Elanga. Yeah, Elanga did. I remember Elanga scored.
Yeah, Elanga scored.
Ronaldo did score, did he?
Nope.
No. I remember that. Ronaldo. Did Rashford get one? Or am I imagining that? Yeah, Rashford got one.
And then Tony got one for them.
Yeah.
It's like scrambling about in the box. I don't know if you remember it. And it was like Maguire. Obviously, it was Maguire.
Did Ferran get a goal?
No, it was Mason Greenwood with the other one. Greenwood, Elanga, and Rashford who scored in that game. Yeah, it was one of them. When you sometimes look at these brain teasers, I like going back to the past. But with Brentford, it's not like we've played them once in the Premier League and then the rest are all first division and stuff.
It's been such a awful season. I've blocked a lot of it out of my mind. I don't want to remember half of the stuff that's happened.
I think you're probably with about 90% of United fans there, if not about 99. So I'm looking towards this game, obviously at home against a Brentford team who've done, really well since they've come up. They currently sit 12th in the league, 1 point behind Brighton, who, as we both know, they play really good football and a decent football inside. And they're also 15 points behind us with the game in hand. There isn't massive history between us, as I suggested before. The two sides, looking back, we've only played them once in the Premier League and beat them 3-1. So it's a 100% record. And I'll cling on to any sort of positivity I can at the minute for United. In terms of players that are available, I think the same players are still pretty much out. I think Sancho was out with tonsillitis until the end of the season.
He's out for the rest of the season, isn't he? Apparently he had apparently he had tonsillitis and then it's inflamed the rest of him and caused a fever and a temperature, which he's not been able to bring down, so he can't train. So even if the tonsillitis goes away, he's not going to be up to fitness to train. Right. I think that's what it is, basically. That
makes sense, because I was reading out, I was sat with my mate at the time who went to the game with, and I was like, Sancho's out for the rest of the season with tonsillitis. And he just burst out laughing. He was like, tonsillitis? We've still got another 4 or 5 games or something. But obviously, what you're saying, that sounds pretty legit. Sancho's out with tonsillitis. You got Cavani out with a paper cut. Luke Shaw out with knee injury. Maguire's still out, I believe. Wan-Bissaka's a doubt. And Fred might just make it.
Have they said what Maguire's injured with?
Knee. I think he's got a knee injury.
Yeah, his knee. Okay.
And that's why he could be out to the end of the season as well, Maguire.
That's fine. I'm all right with that.
It's probably welcoming it amongst most fans. Sam, I suppose the Chelsea performance was slightly better. Nothing to rave about. But getting a draw against the current European champions, can you draw any kind of positivity from that game heading into the Brentford one?
Yeah, I said in the group chat, a draw, I would take that all day, every day against Chelsea. Yeah. Like, the performance was shocking and awful. It was boring as hell. Chelsea were carving us open at will. And if they were on it and like up for it, they probably could have scored 4 or 5 goals, arguably, because I thought they were very easily just cutting through us.
Yeah.
But yeah, the result, I'm happy with a point against Chelsea. Even if we're playing well, a point against Chelsea is always good. So yeah, I'll take that all day, every day. But yeah, the performance was awful.
Well, heading into the stadium, I was like, this could be a tough one to me, mate. I was like, I really, as long as it's not a 4 or 5-0 slapping, I don't want to be that guy who's going into the game saying that. As long as we don't get battered, then. But just how this season's gone, as we know, we getting slapped off Arsenal, slapped off Liverpool. It was just like, just put in a steady performance, take the draw, and we'll run away with it. Obviously, against Brentford, we've got a better chance. So yeah, see what happens there. But what do you expect from a newly promoted Brentford, Sam? What do you think the game's going to be like tomorrow? Do you expect a bit of a tough physical battle or what?
They work really hard. Like they have the team mentality. They sort of closely bonded. Got that Danish connection, obviously, with the coaches and quite a few players. And then obviously we'll speak about Eriksen later on. But yeah, they have like a very team mentality. Ivan Toney wasn't firing for a bit, was he? But he seems to have come back now, back into form, seems to be doing bits again. And that was their main threat. And obviously they brought in Eriksen in January. So yeah, that seems to have reinvigorated their season, bringing Eriksen in, because he's got like a ridiculous amount of assists, which is like helping them with the goals and stuff like that. So yeah, I expect them to work hard. They have a style of play that they'll stick to. They're not going to change it for United. They'll play the way they want to play. And I think, yeah, expect a team that's up for it, wants to beat us, probably can beat us the state we're in, and they'll take that and be happy with it to win at Old Trafford when you've just been promoted.
Yeah.
Result.
I'm going to get into their form in a second, but just Ivan Toney you mentioned there, I think he's got 12 goals, 4 assists in the Prem, in the Brentford side, which is decent. And I've seen he's been linked with a few other teams as well, so he may get a potential move.
Newcastle's the rumour, isn't it?
That would be a good place for him to go. I think
he's been there before, wasn't he? He used to be there. Yeah, he was in. I don't know. He didn't make that many first team appearances, but he was there as like an academy or reserve player or something like that. Made a few appearances for him before they sold him. But yeah, that's the rumour, isn't it? He's going to go back there.
Interesting. We are going to get into the team predictions a little bit later on, Sam, but just focusing on our players starting tomorrow, would you start Matic again, considering how well he played against Chelsea, do you think?
Have we got a choice?
Well, if Fred's back, you've got McTominay, Bruno, I don't know what more Bruno's got to do to get dropped, to be honest, because he's been playing bad. There's no other players, is there? Like, we haven't got any midfielders to play, because Pogba's out for the season, but he was doing my head in anyway. Isn't it funny? Sorry to cut you in, Sam, but isn't it funny how many players are now out for the season, for the rest of the season? Oh yeah, they've just sodded it off. They've just gone. Pogba, they've seen the state of this season and go, I can't take this anymore. I'm going to have an injury. Can't be arsed. I thought Scott McTominay was very poor against Chelsea. I think he had a very poor game. You see the second half, the graph that I put in? Yeah, in the group chat? not out of three passes. Oh my god, man! So I thought he was terrible. 40 minutes. If Fred's 100%, and we're not just bringing him because Scott McTominay is poor, then yeah, I'd probably play Fred and Matic with Bruno, because what other choice do we have? Donny's not on the bench, so we can't play him. Yeah. Pogba's out. Who else is out? Well, we've got no midfielders really. We've got one Mato, but you can't put him there. Put him in there. So yeah, so it's like there's literally no one else. Well, I think if Fred's 100%, he'll play Fred. I think Fred will play. It'll be Fred, Matic, and Bruno, because, like I said, what other option do we have at this point? We don't have any. So I'm actually hoping Fred's fit. It's madness. I can't believe it. But he's under Ragnick. He's been one of the better players, and he's important for breaking up play, interceptions. The distance he covers in the game it aids the team a lot. You put Matic in there, he brings the technical ability, but he's got no way near. He can't get about the pitch no way near as much as Fred. If Fred just simplified his game, like broke up play, got the ball, and just gave it to someone like Bruno or Matic, every week we'd be like, this guy's amazing, he's fantastic, but he just then decides to try and turn into Pirlo and pass and stuff like that, and it just
loses the ball and stuff like that. And that's what frustrates me about Fred's game. But like if he simplified it and just does what he does well, he'd be in the team every week. He'd be fantastic.
Simplicity is a thing that we speak about a lot when it comes to United. They just don't do the basics right, do they? And that's one of the like massive glaring issues with them. They really don't do the pass and move basics. And that's your fundamentals. You need to know them. On Brentford, last 5 results. So the form is pretty decent. 0-0 against Spurs. 2-1. They beat Watford 2-1. Sorry, they beat West Ham 2-0. They beat Chelsea 4-1. And then got beat off Leicester 2-1. So they've won 3, lost 1, and drew 1. But I didn't even realise, if you're looking at the teams they've played and beat, one of the most
beat some big teams.
Yeah, they really are. Beating Chelsea 4-1, no joke, at Stamford Bridge as well.
Beat Arsenal as well, didn't they? Did they beat Arsenal?
Yeah, beat West Ham 2-1, drew with Spurs 0-0, as I said then, and only conceding 3 goals in that one as well. So that's pretty impressive. It ain't going to be no easy game on Monday anyway, I'll say that for a fact. And their spine is really important to how they play as well. They've got Ivan Toney there, we spoke about just then, striker, probably going to get a move to a bigger club, as I suggested before. You've got that Norgard in the midfield, who's literally the heart of that, like, conducts the game. I said I'd probably take him at United over the midfielders we've got in a minute. Like, he is a really good technical player and defensive side as well. He does his job. So you've got Norgard in the midfield, and then you've got the keeper who's been really good this season as well. So they've got talented players who don't seem to have like a lot of the media attention. I think they're better than what people say they are. When I watch Brentford, like especially in that system, the way they all play together, it seems to suit a lot of them. And they look really good. So, yeah, I'm impressed with Brentford, considering it's the first proper season in Premier League. A lot of clubs have come up and just completely flopped. They look really good. They're also good both defensively and offensively in transition. Formation similar to Chelsea, of course, very fluid. A lot of emphasis will be on the wing backs to get forward. The front two of Toney and then Burno cause damage as well. So you've got Burno who can run in behind. Toney can kind of like hold the ball up and link play. So you've got 2 kind of different situations to deal with there. They play with a back 5. So we've probably had the best training to deal with that, because we literally just played Chelsea, who play like a similar system. So, yeah, you couldn't have had better training for it if you tried. But yeah, Sam, I've asked Adam this before, and he said it wasn't a fan of it. But I want to get your thoughts on a back 5. What do you think about it?
I personally don't think United should play that way. I think it's got its strengths. I think certain teams do it well, like you said, Chelsea. I think when England play with a back 5, we look better. Obviously, it works for players like Harry Maguire. He looks fantastic in a back 5. It's like the best centre-back you've ever seen in a back 5, back 4. But I think United should be playing with a back 4. I think that's the way we should play. Full-backs, bombing on, wingers. For ideally, my formation is 4-3-3. Like, that's how I like to see United play. Obviously, in the old days under Fergie, it was 4-4-2, and you had your wingers bombing on, and your full-backs wouldn't sort of venture that far over. Sometimes you'd have a little overlap and stuff like that, but you were relying on your wingers. Modern day football, it's your full-backs that are going to provide you width and get down, stuff like that. So that's the way I'd like to see United play. I think that's the way Ten Hag likes to play as well. Like, I don't think he might have flirted with a back 5 now and then, but I don't think he likes to play that way. So I think it has its uses and it works for certain teams, but for United personally, I wouldn't. It's not something I want to see.
Interesting. Me personally, I'm a fan of it. I think I'm in the kind of like minority there, which I don't mind at all. I just think the way I think about football, I think of defence first. Like, you keep your clean sheets and then you nick your goal or anything like that. And I know it's a bit of a pragmatic approach or whatever, but I've seen it work with Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea won the Champions League with a back 5 like that. It works so well for them. And if you get the right players in, I wouldn't say use it now with United, because I don't think we've got the right players to use in that system. But I think if you can use it well and know how to do it and get the right players, the reason why it works for Chelsea so much is because the wing backs are world class. The midfielders like Jorginho and Kante, they've got the perfect blend there.
Reece James has gone up to another level this season, and he's been phenomenally good.
He would be my first choice right back going into the World Cup. Yeah. I think he's just all around is better than any of the English right backs anyway, for me. Either him or Kyle Walker. But just bring it back to this game. I want to talk about Christian Eriksen, Sam. I know when I think we broke the news on the show, didn't we? I can't remember which one it was specifically, but when the news broke and you were saying that it'll be a really good signing for him. seems like your prediction was correct. He's still a very good player, isn't it?
He's got like the ability doesn't leave you. Like I know he's the health worries that he had and the unfortunate heart attack he had in the Euros and stuff like that, all very sad, and sort of lost his place at Inter Milan because of the rules they have in Serie A and stuff like that. But like, yeah, his ability to put crosses on a sixpence piece, like right on a striker's head, his free kick ability, his corners, he's got a massive range of passing, and he can score a couple of goals as well. Like he's a good, decent goal scorer. So yeah, I think Brentford have been very savvy in picking him up, especially on just a year deal. You've got no risk. It's like if it don't work out, see you later and stuff. But it's worked for them. I think that's the reason they're so high in the league that they are now. I think they had a little bit of a stall after just before January, like Christmas time, they sort of stalled a little bit and we're sort of drifting down the table again. And I think he's provided a bit more of injection of like, we can score goals, we can be dangerous and stuff like that. So I think he's been very key to them. And he's also helped out Ivan Toney, because Ivan Toney now has someone who's just going to deliver the ball for him every single time. And he knows exactly where he's going to get it and how he's going to get it, all that sort of stuff. So I think he's been very important. There's rumours that he might be going back to Spurs in the summer because Conte obviously worked with him into Milan and stuff like that. So that could happen. I know there was a couple of things floating around about United, and Adam put it in the group chat. I don't think that'll happen, but
I wouldn't take him personally.
But he's been very important to Brentford.
Yeah, I think we like I said, we were saying it on the show. I said what Brentford need now is that creative outlet, and especially someone with Eriksen's experience, you know, a guy who's been in like Champions League finals and stuff like that. Like he's perfect for him. You've got that Danish connection with their manager, Thomas Frank, is that his name? Thomas Frank. It's just a perfect signing. I thought he'd do well as soon as he went in there, and he's lifted him up to another level. So it'd be interesting to see how he gets on tomorrow. Another player who I want to see how he gets on tomorrow. We spoke about him again before, but Cristiano Ronaldo, Sam, are we expecting another good performance from him? Could end up in, like, as I said, double figures in the Premier League if he continues on the goal scoring run that he's on. I, for one, as well, I feel like if he gets 20 plus goals in that United team, he deserves a fucking Ballon d'Or or something. He deserves some form of trophy. If you want to create one like UFC did with that bad motherfucker thing, just give him a bad motherfucker trophy and just say, there you go, Ronaldo.
Let's give him a golden goat, just like a goat a statue with a gold. Like, just give him that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, do you expect another good performance from him tomorrow?
I hope so. The rest of the team's not playing that well. But like if you give Ronaldo half a chance, he'll score goals.
We saw that against
Chelsea. Like that was created out of nowhere. Matic with that little chip pass over the top. Ronaldo only needs one of those, he'll score. 9 times out of 10, he'll score that. If we can get 2 or 3 of them, he'll score goals for us. The only thing I'm holding on to this season is that he outscores Salah in the goal scoring charts.
Yeah,
that's all I've got left. I've got nothing else left. It's just like he'll outscore Salah.
Now, if he does that, if he manages to do that, like that is crazy. I think it's Salah on 20 and he's on 17 at the minute, something like that.
Salah's not scored for a while, has he, in open play? He's only had penalties, so.
That goal, that's another one as well that you just reminded me of. Arsenal, he didn't take the penalty either against Arsenal, did they? They let Bruno have it, and Bruno missed it, so he could have had another goal to his tally there. I hope the Cristiano Ronaldo's been this season, because we're going to need that on Monday, because no one else is putting in any fucking effort, it doesn't look like. That goal he scored against Chelsea, by the way, I don't know if I told you this, but I completely missed it. I missed it in the ground, so I had to wait. Someone spoke to me or asked me a question behind me and was like, oh, what do you think about, I can't remember what play it was, like in United's team. I was like, he's been pretty shit recently, hasn't he? And it's just like that. I turned back around, I was like, what's going on? He was like, oh, Ronaldo scored. I was like, fuck's sake, man. So I had to go when I got home, and then I saw the assist from Matic, that little chip. Oh, the first touch, and then rifles it in the corner. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, that's what you expect from the Golden Goat, don't you? Focusing now, Sam, on the way Brentford set up. Obviously, they play a very direct, aggressive style of football, win a lot of second balls, and I think from set pieces and throw-ins, they have one of the best efficiency rates in the league, so we need to keep an eye on that. They also have very physical, tall players who can cause big problems in and around the box. They set up in a 3-4-3 formation, or 3-4-2-1, whatever you want to call it, utilising their wing-backs to get balls into the box with Tony. corner, but also can play direct with runners in behind, as I suggested before. Sam, in the past few games, we've had to deal with more technical players who have, kind of a lot more possession. You think about Arsenal especially. I like to keep it on the ground, very nippy, quick players. But with Brentford tomorrow, it's going to be a very different challenge, it's going to be a very physical game, I imagine. People like Lindelof, Telles, who haven't been great physically, do we need to keep an eye on them? And they're going to have a really good performance tomorrow, aren't they?
Yeah, if it were up to me, obviously, I think Luke Shaw would play tomorrow, but that's not an option right now. We're stuck with Telles because
he's so bad at the minute, isn't he? Telles.
He had a terrible against Chelsea. He was terrible. Like, I was watching him most of the game, and he was just awful. He was so bad. Lindelof does have a tendency to get bullied, but I think as long as Varane's fit, I think it'll help him out. I think Varane and Lindelof are a better partnership, and they look more solid than Maguire and Lindelof, or Maguire and Varane. Yeah. So hopefully having Varane next to him will help him out, and Varane can sort of deal with the immediate threat, and then Lindelof can sort of get hold of the ball and get it out, because we know he's got a good pass on him and stuff like that. Yeah. He can sort of play out from the back.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Ivan Toney tomorrow, I am latching myself onto Lindelof. I'm just sticking myself to him, because Varane's good in the air, as we know, and he's got the pace, so you can't really run in behind him. Whereas Lindelof, he's not the quickest of centre-backs, and obviously he's not great physically either.
Also, if I'm on the wings, Brentford, I'm targeting Telles every single time down that left, their right-hand side, but our left-hand side, I'm targeting him every single time, because most of the time you're going to do him and you're going to be past him. And he's a quick player, but he's not quick defensively, if that makes sense. Like, he's not.
He ain't got a recovery pace, I don't think. It's not like Kyle Walker, is it?
He's not good coming back. Like, he's good going forward, and he's got great crosses and great ball, but coming back, he's not that great. So I'd be targeting him every single time, especially when Telles on bomb forward and we inevitably lose possession, which we always do. Probably through Marcus Rashford, because he'll play tomorrow because we haven't got anybody else.
Yeah.
He'll lose possession, and then Telles is going to be way high up the pitch. Brentford get hold of that ball like you said, direct ball over the top. It's over, innit? Yeah. Christian Eriksen gets all that ball, or in Boomer or whoever, ball in the box on his head.
There's another thing, Eriksen getting on the ball. We haven't got really a DM like a destroyer who can, like a Kante or anyone like that. We've got, it's worrying from a good few tactical aspects in the game tomorrow. Another tactical aspect is set pieces. I think that'll be a massive part in the game tomorrow, in my opinion. As I mentioned before, with the throw-ins and corners and stuff like that, they're really good from them. And as you know as well, Sam, on the flip side of things, we've been really bad at it this season. Yeah. So two questions for you. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's the delivery, or do you think it's just players not getting on the end of it, or do you think it's a bit of both? And if you could pick any player from any generation to take a set piece for you, who are you taking?
What are we talking, like a corner, or are we talking a free kick? What are we doing?
Anything. Corners, free kicks, anything. Like, who's your go-to guy, do you think, you're going to put on it? Who can, like you said, put it on a sixpence? Do you know what I mean?
Corners, I don't know. I'd have to have a think about the corners.
But you think of the likes like you got Juninho, Pirlo, Beckham. Yeah. These kind
of. Are we talking any player? I thought we were just talking United.
Yeah, any player from the generation.
God, it's It's very difficult. It's very difficult.
You got to ask the hard questions.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
In terms of United, like I used to love a Paul Scholes free kick, like when he just absolutely drills it. Yeah, just absolutely drills into the fucking keeper. I used to love those. They were fantastic. In terms of sort of corner ability, I'd have to think.
David Beckham for me.
Beckham is fantastic. Free kicks from Beckham were just something else.
That one against Greece was just fucking.
That'll live in the memory forever. Like that goal, that'll be. You remember anybody asks you about Beckham, 9 times out of 10 they'll say the goal against Greece, because it was just.
I'll tell you what, another shout as well is Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse.
He's amazing. He's ridiculous.
He's probably the best in the league.
Like his record must be like close to sort of 80-odd%. Like, he seems to put them in every single time he's on him, especially when it's about 10 yards outside the box. Like, that's going in. I don't care who you are, like what goalkeeper, Alisson, Edison, that's going in the fucking top corner. He's ridiculously good at it. I'm just trying to think, the favourite teams I used to watch play with, like AC Milan, so I'm trying to think back who used to
Aka,
take their.
Pirlo, Dino.
No, they're corners. I'm trying to remember who used to take the corners.
Sure, it was Pirlo, wasn't it? Was it not?
Might have been Pirlo.
Or one of the wing backs. Quite the wing backs usually quite a lot of a thing. But I can't remember in that team. He had Ambrosina or something like that.
Ambrosina was in there. Maldini.
Nestor.
Oh, Nestor. I could talk years from there about Nestor. Nestor.
Love that team. Very vintage.
But I think you've beat me with that pick. I think Beckham's probably the one.
Yeah, definitely. David Beckham, when it comes to set pieces, for me, is another golden goal. Now, Sam, I always ask this question on the preview. If you could take one player from Brentford for United, who would you take right now?
I think arguably we'd probably take that Norgard, wouldn't we?
Yeah,
we'd probably kill for him right now. I know the attractive options say Tony because we need a striker.
Yeah,
but is he going to play over Ronaldo? Probably not. Eriksen's very good, but again, over Sancho, don't think so.
Yeah. Over Bruno,
probably not.
No.
So yeah, I think Norgard's probably the shout because we are crying out for that type of midfielder in our team.
Yeah.
Like just anybody. I literally I remember one of my mates at work's a Villa fan, and he was talking about McGinn, how much he hates him. I was like, do you know how much we'd kill for McGinn in our team right now? We'd love McGinn in our team right now.
I said at the time when we got linked with him, I was like, fuck, we need to get someone better. But if we're talking about if we could just bring someone in now in a hypothetical situation, just anyone of that caliber, I'd bring them in because they're better than what we've got. Like most of them, 17, 16 teams in the league have probably got better midfields than us. So I'd probably take John McGinn. And I'd take Norgard would be my shout as well. To be fair, I just think he's better than what we've got.
Their goalkeeper as well is pretty tasty. I won't mind.
Yeah.
Him, especially because he's definitely got better distribution than David De Gea anyway.
Yeah, I don't think that's very hard, is it? In fairness, but yeah, let's get into the predicted 11s. Sam, I'll go through mine very quickly. So I'll go with I think David De Gea in there. The wing back's such a weird one because every wing back we seem to play there. I know obviously we've only got 3 choices, but whether it's Wan-Bissaka, Dalot, or Telles, they're all playing shit at the minute. They're all really below par. So I'm kind of like, is there anyone else? But
it's basically, you reckon Ralph's just like tossing a coin? He's just like,
yeah, probably.
Wan-Bissaka or Dalot, heads, right, cool, you're in. Because what's the point?
I thought against Chelsea in my predicted lineup, I said it'd be Wan-Bissaka because you're gonna have a lot of defending to do because of
Reece James running at you and stuff.
Reece James and Alonso. So I thought, and especially with Rashford not tracking back in that game, that was an absolute disgrace. But yeah, so I thought Wan-Bissaka would be a shooting to start because you're gonna have a lot of defensive work to do, but he didn't start. So now I'm like, well, Brentford play a similar system, so we're just gonna go with Dalot again. So I'll go with Dalot, Varane, Lindelof, Telles, Bruno, McTominay, and I think Fred just scrapes it and gets into the team to bring a bit more energy into that midfield. And then I think Elanga, because he scored against him last time, he's not doing too bad at the minute, and he actually tracks back. His work rate off the ball is really good. And then Ronaldo, obviously, because again, it's not because there's no one else, but even if there was like Ronaldo, and then not Jadon Sancho because he's got tonsillitis. Oh yeah, it'd be Rashford, won't it? I'd probably start Garnacho at this point over Rashford. I'd
love to see it. I'd love to see.
He got his debut against Chelsea, but I think he touched the ball like twice or something.
I don't think he touched the ball.
They could have took Rashford off, Sam, in the 60th minute. They could have took.
I would have took him off at half time.
He was doing nothing at all. He had no impact. Every time he got it, the usual Rashford shit, run into blind alleys, not playing the right ball at the right time. So, but what harm is it going to have now? Like realistically, bringing in.
It's like I don't understand. Like, how much more shit could we be? We can't be any more shit. We are fucking awful right now. Like,
yeah, exactly, Sam. You know what? I'm going to throw Garnacho in there. My prediction actually: Garnacho, Ronaldo, and Elanga up top. I'd love to see that. I think the boy is very talented from bits that we've seen.
It'd make me happy if Garnacho played. I'd be very happy with that to see that. But
okay, so what's your predicted 11 for tomorrow?
Predicted, I think it's pretty much yours, but I think it'll be Matic instead of McTominay. So I think it'd be Matic, Fred, Bruno, Ronaldo, Elanga, Rashford, because there isn't anybody else. And then the defense, you said, I think it'd be Dalot, Lindelof, Varane, Telles, De Gea. it pretty much picks itself at this point because we haven't got anybody else. Like, it's not like we can switch it up and throw Sancho in. It's not like we can switch it up and put Pogba in. It's not like we can switch it up and put Luke Shaw in. Like, we don't have anybody else, so it picks itself. I'd love to see Hannibal start. I'd love to see
he deserves a start.
I'd love to see Garnacho start. I'd love to see who else was on the bench. Was it Alejandro? Well, not Alejandro. What's his called?
Alvarez.
Yeah, I'd love to see Alvarez get a start. I don't think Shoretiri's good enough for the level from what I've seen.
Do you think Ralph's waiting until it's like numerically impossible to get top 4? Then he'll start playing like the young kids, like the last 2 games or something. I
was saying that to my girlfriend. I was like, she was like, why is he not playing Hannibal? I was just like, I think he's waiting until it's mathematically impossible for us to finish top 4. Because I think if he plays them, people are like, why are you not playing these? We still can get top 4 bonus. So I think he's waiting for that. But I'd love to see Garnacho on the starting lineup or Hannibal. Either of them, I'd be very happy with that. Yeah. I'd look forward to seeing that, but I don't.
Hannibal shown more bite in the Liverpool game than Rashford has all season. And then like 10 minutes.
Gary Neville said it on commentary. He's like, I know I shouldn't say this, but like, I'm proud of him for getting a booking. He put his foot on it and tackled. Was it Jordan Henderson he took out?
Yeah. A few. He took a few of them out.
Well, the one he got a booking for, basically.
Yeah.
And then he was handed that awful ball by Maguire where he had to like run back for it and ended up losing. Like, just
got through under a bus by his captain, didn't it? Which is just.
So play. I'm begging Ralph. Please play Hannibal, play Garnacho. Just give some of us, the fans, to sort of be excited to see, because we have nothing else.
That's it, isn't it? That's it. That's sort of like, it's got to that point now where it's just, the only exciting thing we want to see now is just some of the young talents that we've got, because we haven't seen them first. We've obviously seen little bits and glimpses from like the under-23s and stuff, but we haven't seen them in a proper Premier League game, so it'd be nice to see how they get on, especially for like 45 minutes or something like that. I remember under Ollie last season, towards the end of it, we played Ahmad as a false 9 against Wolves. Hannibal was playing in that game with it. They've got like a really good connection between them, which I liked. So, and then I thought,
well, these lads have played together, haven't they? They've played together in the reserve, so they know each other. They know each other.
Solid partnership. Like the link up on the pitch was just great. So I thought we'd see more of that heading into the season, but we haven't seen anything at all. And obviously we went out of the cup competitions relatively early, so we've not really had a chance to play him. So it'd be nice to see him. Now let's get into the juicy bit, the score predictions. What do you think?
I always thought we were going to get battered by Chelsea. Like, I was waiting for a 3-4-0 thing. I thought that was going to happen, but we somehow came out with a draw and got a point. So again, I know it's Brentford, but again, I'd take a draw at this point. I'd take stuffy 1-1 draw at this point because. But
is that based on the form they're in though? Because you think they're playing relatively well?
Yeah, they're playing well, and they're playing well, and we're playing awful. Like even in a Chelsea game, we didn't deserve that draw. Like, we didn't deserve it. So I'd take a 1-1 draw. But if I'm going to be positive, then maybe 2-1 United. Maybe we can. They'll score first, and then we'll have to come back and maybe Ronaldo get a couple. Yeah, getting closer to that 21 that Salah's sitting on. Maybe that'll be
I'm going to go
exciting about.
I'm going to go with a draw. I think I'm going to draw on Monday. Another one, and then after that game, if we do draw it, you've got Brighton next, I think, after that, and then Palace. Like we were saying, then just play the young kids, man, because
we've been bad at home as well. Like I feel like we've been worse at home than we have away this season.
Potentially, yeah.
So and we're playing. It's at Old Trafford, isn't it, on Monday? So it
just seems to be more pressure because everyone thinks we're going to perform because it's at home. We seem to do the opposite and not put a performance in. So it's kind of like. Yeah, but as always, as United fans, we are hoping that we get some form of result on Monday and praying. I don't know if I'm going to that game. I'm kind of in two minds. It's the last home game of the season, so I'm kind of like,
if I can get tickets, my girlfriend wants to go because she's not been to a game all season because I banned her after we went to West Ham and we lost. So she wants to go, so I might go to it just because it's the last game of the season. Yeah. But I've not got high hopes for the performance at all. I don't think
that's what I mean. So that's life as a fan, innit? Support them through whatever it is.
Bring on the summer for the love of God.
Exactly. So yeah, guys, Guys, that is the preview finished. The match is live tomorrow, Monday Night Football, 8 o'clock kickoff. We will be live for team news, halftime reaction and post-match analysis. So make sure you tune in for that one on our YouTube page. And thank you to all the viewers supporting and watching, guys. If you haven't subscribed already yet, please click that button just below for regular football content, and check some of our videos out that are currently on the page. I need to get a couple of them numbers up. Really good shows. Got a new show that drops. Is this morning at 10 o'clock, was it?
Yeah, well, it'll be yesterday.
Yesterday, sorry. So the new show's out on there to watch to keep yourself up to date with all stuff surrounding Manchester United. The sub count's currently on 129. We want to try and get it to 150 maybe before the season finishes. So that'd be great to do that. And then we might just do a giveaway if we get to that number. So again, appreciate the support. Also follow us on all socials if you like. Just type in Real Reds Talk on any platform. You should be able to find us. All them ones that are behind Sam. So TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Insta. Is there anything else I'm missing?
No, we're all good.
No? Yeah. So yeah, if you want to follow us on social media, just type in Real Reds Talk. And thank you, Sam, for joining me. Always appreciate
it.
And your analysis.
Yes. Like the video, subscribe to the video, leave a comment, leave your predicted 11 score predictions, all that stuff. Put it underneath. If you ever want to chat United and stuff, come follow us on our Instagram page, send us a DM. One of us will be on it. Love to talk United. Leave a comment on there, like photos, follow us. We want to try and get to like 1,000 followers on Instagram at some point. That'd be nice. If we start doing sort of more exciting things with the page then. And then, we want to try and push subscribers up on the YouTube. So we've got 700 followers on the Instagram and we've only got 129 subscribers. So there's 500 odd of you not doing it. So come on,
it's a similar one.
Please help
TikTok
us out
as well. I think TikTok's near 800 now, so that's getting close to 1,000 mark. So it's continuously growing, and that's all because of you lot who are watching this stuff, of course.
Appreciate it all. Like we read. I manage the YouTube, and Nick, and manage the Instagram, and we see all the kind comments and stuff for you guys. So we appreciate it. Appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for the support, because we won't be here without that. So appreciate it very much. And let's hope we get the 3 points tomorrow, Sam. I will see you for the game, for the lineup reaction and the post-match analysis.
Yeah, let's have it. Let's have it.
Peace, guys. Thank you for tuning in. See you later.